Welcome to another AVA equipment video review. Today we are going to review this Infusomat space from B.Braun. This is a very light and small pump, similar form factor from the perfuser space and pretty similar from panel as well. Same LCD, same 3 LED with the same alarm color code. Same for arrows key, reset button, OK button, bolus button, on and off button, start and stop button, and the button to connect to space control. The different thing is that we have this button here, is that this is to open the front door, because obviously the perfuser space has a magnetic closure, so it's kept in place by magnets, whereas this one has a motor that open and close the front panel. On the side we have the same button as the perfuser spaces, and this is to release the pump from the one that's underneath, so we can lock these two pumps together, we can carry them around, they're not going to drop or get released unless we press this. When we press this, we slide the top pump backward, and that's it, it's released. That's useful to carry them around without any issue. Here we have the same two connectors, P3 and P2 port, as the ones on the perfuser space. So this means that we can use the same power lead and the same space station for both pumps. So we can have both kind of pumps in the same rack. Here under this rubber cover there is the port for the drip sensor. Here there is the cover for the battery, and this is the same as the one, so the same button to open it as the one on the perfuser space. So let's turn it on. It's performing the self-test. The pump tells us the date and time settings and the air in line. Now we can open the door. So as you can hear, the door is opening automatically, where we have the upstream sensor, the line, the guide for the line, we have the air sensor, pressure sensor, and the safety clamp. So we have to be careful to put our line, and to be honest, there is just one way that the line fit in the pump, so you can be wrong unless, as specified here, you try to turn this, and then obviously this is going to fit, but can affect your infusion because obviously it's twisted here. So let's put it as it is supposed to go. And let's put the safety clamp in. As soon as you put in, the lever comes up. When you open the door again, you need to press the lever, and this is going to be released, and you need to do that in order to remove the line. So let's close the door. To close the door, you just need to push it toward the pump, and the motor is going to do the rest. So perfectly sealed. To recognize the line, you can press the left arrow or the OK button as on the perfuser space. It reminds us to keep the roller clamp closed, and now we can open it. We can set the volume to be infused, and that's pretty good that the pump asks you to set the volume to be infused first, because sometimes with other pumps you may forget that. And then here we can set the rate, pretty easy, we can set it pretty easily, it's very nice to use. We can also set the time, so giving the amount of, giving the volume to be infused and set the time that you want. You can obviously change the rate. You can set some special function like dose rate calculation if enabled, so you can ask your service specialist to enable them for you. On the options we can set the pressure, and for every pressure, for each pressure level you have the pump gives you the amount of pressure in millimeters of mercury. Here we have the data log, so as for the perfusion space, we have 2 levels, and these are safety measures that can be used in an ICU setting, or whenever you are not going to be present all the time and you want to be sure that the patient receive that amount of drug or that amount of fluid, and nobody can change it other than you. We have the keep the vein open mode, that in this case is active, but you can activate or deactivate it. You can change the alarm volume as well. And then you can go in the option menu and you have all volume, time, and battery capacity time. So let's set the volume to be infused, let's set the rate, and the pump now is infusing. Here we have the battery indicator, the volume to be infused, the time, the volume that has been infused, the rate, the pressure indicator, and here we have 2 indicators that tells us that the pump is running. So the green LED and this one here. So as you can see, this indicator here, these dot lines here are our pressure level, and this one here is the amount of pressure that's inside the line to reach this one. So there is a fair amount of pressure inside our line now. So we can easily change your infusion rate, our infusion rate while we are infusing. We can give a bolus while we are infusing. We can set also the bolus time, and this obviously affects the rate. It's very straightforward, and it's very good. It's a very good pump. So to stop the infusion here, an interesting thing that I want to show you is that if you open now the pump and you have the roller clamp open, you're gonna do a mess, because obviously your pump will start to either to give an uncontrolled amount of fluids to your patient, or to make a mess on the floor. or even worse, on your pumps if you have them in a rack or in a pole clamp and the line is not connected. So let's press this button. It asks if we want to open the door. It opens the door, but look at this. While you're pulling, this little ring here, it keeps pulling the safety clamp as well while the line stays there. So the result is that when you open, you have your safety clamp that, well, needs to be released by the lever, by pressing the lever, but your safety clamp is closed. So no mess around. We can then easily remove the infusion line and change without doing any mess. That's pretty good. That's pretty good by B.Braun. Yeah, well, you have to, the cons is that, well, obviously you have to use their infusion lines. That's true. But in the hand you get a very light infusion pump with very easy to use interface and pretty good safety measures and some kind of useful measures to avoid any mess around. So that's, or to avoid that you put the line in a wrong way and maybe affect your infusion. So that's I think a very good pump. I think that at least it's worth to try it and give it a go. It's very good, very small. You can easily stay in my hand. It's very good. Again, you know, it's not that big. It's like my hand. So I think that's pretty much all for today. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and thank you for watching.